The Darrell Bevell Raiders OC rumors are really starting to heat up. Coming up here on the Raiders Port, today, I'm going to get into the latest around Bevel and why he might be the #1 name to consider to be the Raiders' next OC. If you're like Mitch, who the heck is Darrell Bevell? I'll tell you everything you need to know about him, and then at the very end of today's show, why these rumors and why I'm confident that Bevel could end up being the next OC for the Silver and Black. Music. According to Vic Tafur, all signs point to the Raiders hiring Bevel. This is something that Tafur ended up tweeting out on January 31st. So when you just see the fact that this is something that's already being talked about, you got to take a look at it and you got to go, okay, interesting. Adam Schfer earlier this week, Bevel is under consideration for the Raiders. He said that on the Pat McAfee show. And also, Bevel has just always been considered the front runner for the job, the moment that Pete Carroll got hired, the moment John Spytek got hired, the moment we started hearing about OC candidates. The first name that really started to pop up, Darrell Bevell. And here's the thing, if the Raiders hire Bevel, I'm going to be live here on this channel. Hit that subscribe, Zachariah Sport. I don't want you to miss it, and it's actually funny. At the moment that I'm recording this video right now, the Raiders have officially announced Patrick Graham is the DC, which I love to see. Just like we went live for the DC News with PG, we will be live here. Whoever the Raiders hire to be the OC, I promise you this, we will be here. So coming up, who is Darrell Bevell? And why should Raider fans know exactly who this person is? I'm going to go through. I'm going to tell you how old he is. I'm going to tell you his coaching history, everything there is to know around the Miami Dolphins quarterback coach and pass game coordinator. He is 55 years old currently, which I don't feel like I've ever talked about age more in my Raiders report history, since the Raiders of a 73-year-old guy in Pete Carroll. But I do think it's important to throw out age, considering the fact that we have to look at a potential succession plan with every coordinator that we bring in. He's been coaching in the NFL since 2000, and he also has had some interim head coach experience in 2020, taking over for Matt Patricia, who was another just disaster. New England Patriots guy, hiring did not work in Detroit, and then also in 2021 in Jacksonville, when the Jags tried to bring in a big name by the name of Urban Meyer. So I don't want you to look at what D. Bevel has done in terms of an interim head coach, because he was taking over two horrific situations. What I do want you to look at, though, here is his entire coaching history, because I do think it paints a pretty picture of what the Raiders are trying to get moving forward now. Realistically, the ones that I want you to look at are Packers and Vikings. Here's where he had the opportunity to work with somebody, like a Brett Favre. The Seahawks OC gig from 2011 to 2017 is the biggest reason why Bevel's name is being linked here to Pete Carroll with the Raiders right now, but he does have some OC interim head coaching experience, and he's been with the Miami Dolphins over the past few seasons. But if we're going to talk about OC, let's talk about what he has done as an offensive coordinator. And I didn't want to bring up total yards. I don't want to bring up anything besides points per game. I'm sick and tired of not putting points on the board, and I don't want any more excuses. I want points on the board, so when you see the first year that he took over here in Minnesota, they were 26 in the NFL, slowly got better. And then that final year, is when they had like the 40-year-old Brett Barra. It just simply did not work. But what I like here is slowly got better and had a great running game, compliments of, again, Adrian Peterson. But then you look at what he did from 2011 to 2017 with Pete Carroll, 7 seasons in total. He did get let go by Pete, which is something that a lot of people bring up. But again, you're looking at consist offense. Even in 2016, 2017, like the 18th best offense isn't great. I get that. But if you have a legit defense, you can still win football games in the National Football League. Now, Bevel in terms of Detroit and Jacksonville, not pretty, and there's no other way to paint that picture. And I do believe that a lot of Raiders fans are concerned about bringing in Bevel because he did get fired by Pete Carroll. And then the last 3 times that you see him do his job, it was really bad, especially that final year in 2021. But go back and look at all the situations around Urban Meyer. That was a really, really bad situation in Jacksonville. So here's going to be the pin comment on today's show. Do you want the Raiders to hire Bevel? Give me a yes. Give me a no. You are about to get hit with a YouTube ad break. While that ad is play,